Today we're going to turn this into this. Welcome to Pelletonix. I'm Bill. Today I'm going to be doing a little paint job on the Umarex Gauntlet. Let's get to work. I'm going to cut the your audio off and I'll do a voiceover because I got to have music while I work and YouTube's kind of bitchy about that kind of thing. Stick around. Okay, we're going to start with the disassembly of the gun. I'm removing the barrel shroud and all the pieces I want to paint I'm going to take off of the gun. Now remember, before you start doing this, that this will void the hell out of your warranty. And also, always degas the gun before you do any kind of work on it. The music you're hearing in the background is straight from the YouTube Creator Studio, so they shouldn't have a problem with the music in the video. Now I'm taking the butt plate off of the stock, so I'm going to leave it unpainted. That screw that holds the stock on that you just saw me removing, it actually threads all the way up into the breech, so you definitely want to make sure you have no air in the gun before you remove that screw. I didn't speed this up. I wanted to show you this in real time and kind of explain to you what I'm doing. This shroud on this barrel has an O-ring on the air stripper and also on the breech end. So when you fire a pellet, the air actually has to go back all the way down the tube, back up and come out of the holes in the air stripper, and it takes a little bit of time. All these holes do is make it easier for that air to be stripped off, go down the tube and exit out the other end instead of having to come back all the way back up that shroud and out the front of the barrel. Just make sure you take some paper towels and clean out any of the metal shavings that may have gotten into the shroud from the drilling process. Now as you can see, I'm sanding everything down with 600 grit sandpaper. I actually sped this up quite a bit and cut a whole lot of it out because it took a while to sand all of this stuff down. Now for cleanup after sanding, I didn't want to use no acetones or anything like that might react with the plastic. So as you can see, I've got a bottle of rubbing alcohol down there. That's all I used to clean up after the sanding. And when you sand that bottle, make sure you do not sand the numbers for the hydro tests and the serial numbers off of the top. I left the top part of that bottle completely untouched. I wrapped it in a plastic shopping bag to keep paint from getting on it. Now as you can see on the scope, I'm just masking off all the numbers and all of the writing that I don't want covered up. Don't freak out because I'm painting this scope. This scope is a real cheap one from Amazon that the adjustable objective, the yardage on it's way off and everything else. And anytime that I'm kind of camouflage painting anything, I always start with a bright base color, and then I'll dull it down with the colors over the top. And you will find that you're going to have to shoot this paint from 4 different directions just to get good coverage. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. Not for what I'm doing. I've laid out all the pieces in the fashion that if they were actually put together and assembled, that way I can carry my pattern across all of the pieces. That didn't show me painting the other side of the gun. Same process. And you can see there in the floor how many different colors I actually used on this gun. Now you want to remove anything that you've masked off when the paint is just dry enough to touch, to handle it without marring the paint. You want to go ahead and get that tape off, because if you wait and let the paint dry too long, when you go to peel the tape off, it will peel the paint with it. And as you've seen, I just had paper towels in the end of the barrel shroud to keep paint from getting on the inside of it. I readjusted the trigger on this gun while I had it tore down. I didn't show that. I might do a video on it later, but the trigger wasn't terrible when I got the gun, but man, it had a mile of pull and it was kind of gritty, so I done a few modifications to it, and now it pulls at about 5 ounces and less than 3/16 of travel, and it breaks a whole lot cleaner than it did. It's not got that mushy feel to it. It really breaks crisply now. Reassembly is pretty much the same as disassembly, just putting everything back where it went, double checking everything. All I'm doing now is getting the eye relief set for the scope. I did have to readjust it after I got the gun finished and test fired, but it wasn't off by much. And here's a good slow look at the finished product. I always felt like the Gauntlet was kind of ugly. Great gun, I like the gun, it was just a little ugly. And maybe I made it uglier, maybe I didn't. You can let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and click that little bell icon for notifications. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.